purpose of this morning's meeting, after duly and lawfully being noticed, is reconsideration of Order Number 30 as amended and was voted on at the April 29th meeting. Before I open the session for the public forum, I'd like to give a brief recap of what's brought us to this point. A little more than a few weeks ago, Council was presented with a proposal. The proposal we all know and the reason that we're all here. Like our citizenry, we had questions, we had concerns, we felt overwhelmed. And what happens when you get overwhelmed sometimes leads to a number of possible outcomes, but two that come readily to mind are walk away from what is too overwhelming and immediately decline, or just to be paralyzed. I'm in awe of my colleagues and the diligent, dedicated staff of the City of Rockland that didn't allow this to happen. They saw a circumstance. They saw the opportunity to deconstruct the circumstance, evaluate it, and found a way to move forward concurrently to address an aspect of the proposal that had an immediacy to it, but to do it in a way that provided absolute public participation, absolute public process, absolute public consideration in an increment of time, whatever that be, and whatever it is necessary in order to come to a conclusion that works for the entirety of the citizens and the community of Rockland. The groundswell of comments that were the result of the outcome of Wednesday evening's meeting is what has led us to this point. I'm looking at a tally that was provided to me this morning by the city manager that substantiates 61 comments or contacts with the office to move the process further, as opposed to 18 that are adamantly opposed. One of the most compelling, and the reason for my decision to reconvene council on this matter today, came in his usual very simple and very eloquent way, from a lifelong resident of Rockland, who reminded me that on the wall behind me is the seal of the great city of Rockland. And captioned inside that seal is the simple statement, Rockland gives reward to industry. And when God gives, I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. And when industry asks for your consideration, the answer should be, tell me more, and not go away. And that's what's brought us to this moment. So, before I open the public forum, I'm going to let folks know what is our intent to do today. By charter and code, we have 15 minutes in a special meeting for a public forum for Rockland citizens to address the council on matters pertaining to city business. I'm going to ask that those who have already spoken on this matter...
It's not the same matter.
It's not the same matter.
You're asking about reconsidering a vote, and people have a right to talk about whether you should reconsider a vote.
I'm just going to ask as a courtesy. I'm not obligating anyone to anything. First, I'd ask for no outbursts, as it's not part of the process. What I'm asking is for those who've already spoken on this issue to consider that others may want to be heard and to allow them perhaps the opportunity. I'm just asking that. Remember, each speaker will be allowed 3 minutes for a total of 15, at which time I'm going to suspend the rules with regard to the public comment session in order for the developer to provide a brief presentation which hopefully will shed some light and answer some additional comments, questions, and concerns. At the conclusion, and under the presumption that we will all be adults and act properly, I will keep the rules suspended to allow for questions of the developer to be asked of him directly through me. And as long as that dialogue continues in a positive manner, we will keep the rules suspended and attempt to get all your questions, concerns, and ideas addressed. Then, should there be a need, we'll dispense with further public comment for those who are not Rockland residents. And I have to catch myself. Owning property in Rockland, according to the charter, does not provide you with the opportunity to speak. The charter is very clear that it's to a Rockland resident. Please keep that in mind before you come to the podium. And with that, I'll open public comment. Thank you.